Our minds are like bustling cities, buzzing with activity. It's said that within our seemingly serene exteriors, about 70,000 distinct thoughts rush through our consciousness every day, from the moment we awaken to the time we drift into slumber. However, many of these thoughts go unnoticed, receiving little attention or consideration. This leads to a sense of overwhelm and difficulty in processing our experiences. We often lack the time and energy to properly address the anger or sadness that lurks within us, leaving these emotions unattended. Yet, these thoughts and feelings demand acknowledgement. When ignored, they manifest themselves in various ways. Unacknowledged anger can surface as irritability, while unexpressed grief can morph into aimlessness and despair. What we label as mental illnesses often stem from periods in our lives where we haven't had the strength or opportunity to confront and mourn our experiences. You know, when things get tough, it's important to take a closer look at ourselves. That's why we've come up with 5 simple questions that we think you can ask yourself every night. Making this a habit might just help ease some of those things that bother us. The first question we need to ponder is, what am I truly worried about? This question might seem a bit strange at first, because we often don't take the time to think deeply about what's bothering us. It's like our minds are on autopilot, feeling anxious without really knowing why. We can go on for a long time, even years, feeling this vague sense of unease without stopping to figure out what's really bothering us. But this question encourages us to hit the brakes, to pause and reflect on what might actually be bothering us underneath all the surface worries. The word, really, is important here because we often use one worry to distract ourselves from another. For example, we might stress about an upcoming job interview to avoid facing issues in our relationships, or worry about money to avoid thinking about death. So, it can be helpful to keep another question in mind. What's the deeper worry behind the worry that's currently consuming me? This way, we can uncover the layers of our concerns and address them more effectively. It's like shining a light on the shadows in our minds to see what's really going on. Do you ever wonder what's bothering you, even when you try to brush it off and be brave? Sometimes, we're so busy dealing with everyday tasks that we ignore the little hurts and disappointments that bother us deep down. We act tough because we're afraid of seeming weak or vulnerable. But here's the thing, pretending to be strong all the time can be dangerous. It's important to take a moment to acknowledge that despite our tough exteriors, we're still human and things can hurt us. Maybe someone didn't laugh at our joke, or our partner seems distant lately. These might seem like small things, but they can add up and affect us more than we realize. It's okay to admit that we're sensitive and easily affected by the world around us. In fact, recognizing our own vulnerability is a sign of maturity and self-awareness. So let's give ourselves permission to feel, to acknowledge our emotions, and to treat ourselves with kindness, just like we would a child. The third question ponders who has caused irritation, and it's essential to approach this with politeness. Even though we value the norms of civilization, it's natural to feel upset when someone annoys us. However, it's crucial to acknowledge our sensitivity and have the courage to express it. Almost every day, someone inadvertently annoys us, affecting us on a deep level. It's often unintentional, yet it still affects our spirits. Expressing our feelings about what happened and how it made us feel can lighten our emotional load. Reflecting on the incident, acknowledging its impact, and finding ways to regain our inner balance is essential. In the past, we might have turned to a caring parent for this kind of support. Now, as responsible guardians of ourselves, we can internalize this process and use our inner wisdom to comfort and reassure our inner child, who is easily flustered but also easily comforted. The fourth question is about what our bodies truly desire. A lot of what we feel but don't fully process tends to accumulate in our bodies. This is why we often experience things like backaches, tense shoulders, knotted stomachs, and fluttery hearts. To make living with our bodies easier, we should regularly release these pent-up emotions. We can do this by mentally scanning our bodies from head to toe and asking ourselves what each part might need. What do our shoulders want us to know? What might our stomach want to express? What does our back require? What cravings do our legs have? These questions might seem odd at first, but it's surprising how concrete the answers can be when we take the time to ask. The fifth question ponders what remains beautiful amidst life's numerous challenges. Each day confronts us with a myriad of difficulties, yet there are still moments that captivate and delight us. Often, these moments are small and seemingly insignificant. The gentle morning light on the kitchen wall, a child grasping their parent's hand at the bus stop, or the taste of a fig enjoyed at lunchtime. These may seem trivial, but when we take the time to fully appreciate them, they have the power to uplift us and shield us from despair. We often assume that beauty will effortlessly reveal itself to us, but the truth is more complex. We must actively seek out and extract joy from the small wonders that surround us, lest they slip by unnoticed. Our lives are filled with pockets of beauty, yet we may overlook them unless we deliberately acknowledge their presence. Socrates, the renowned philosopher of antiquity, when asked about our ultimate purpose as human beings, famously replied, "To know ourselves." We should strive to continuously unravel the complexities of our own existence. Each day should be devoted to shedding light on the shadows within us, unraveling the mysteries of our own being. By doing so, we inch closer to a state of tranquility and contentment, fostering creativity and embracing joy in our lives.